I've got some slides for us again. There's something really counterintuitive that leads a lot of people astray, myself included. I was about 5 years into my agency when I discovered that the people who pay the most for websites aren't looking for websites. And that's why you can't run ads for web design anymore. And word of mouth referrals are drying up. It's nobody wants a website. Nobody even knows anybody who's looking for a website. My ideal client is a business owner with the capacity to grow who is not looking for a website. Because if they are, I can virtually guarantee they're thinking of something that's not going to work. And I'd much rather just share with them what would work rather than having to unwind everything. I'd much rather walk into a clean kitchen as opposed to walking into a dirty kitchen that I have to clean up first before we can start cooking. I just want to know what's holding them back. And if it has anything to do with lead generation, client acquisition, retention, they're going to want a website in about 20 minutes. And over the next few videos, I'm going to share with you exactly how all of that works. But it starts with value first. If you start with scope and implementation, that's like putting the icing on the cake before you bake it. It's out of sequence. It makes a mess. There's 5 categories of high impact problems that you can solve for local business owners that demonstrate the measurable results that you can create for them. I love this so much. That's what all these slides are all about. We're going to dive into all 5 of these categories right now. I think you're going to love it. Let's jump into the slides. So let's take a look at a value-driven agency and contrast that against like a technical-driven agency. I know when I first started, I was totally a tech-driven agency. I was like writing web apps and stuff like that. And by switching to a value-driven agency, it literally tripled my revenue. So let's talk about why that is and how you can pull that off too. So first of all, what I mean by value, what I really mean is measurable business results, not just the technical stuff. Like how can I take the technical stuff and then what else do I need to add to it to make sure it's actually moving the needle for my client? So I'm essentially saying, how does your work improve your client's business in a measurable way? And there's 4 sources of value that we're going to be looking at. Today, we're going to mostly look at more revenue or vertical growth. Like how do I get more transactions, maybe even at a higher price for the stuff my clients are currently selling. But we'll also take a look at new revenue. So that would be like, maybe you're working with an HVAC company and you introduce a VIP service program or something that they could sell in subscription. So normally they're doing just like service and sales, which is very transactional, but you introduce like a subscription service, that would be new revenue. Cost savings, that can come in the form of both time and money. So time would be maybe because I'm sending better educated, more qualified leads, it's faster to onboard your clients. So you can onboard more clients faster. Or maybe we do time savings in terms of support because now you have a knowledge base so people can sort of self-serve their own support, which saves time on calling in or something like that. Money, I could say, I can save you money on your ads. I can drive you an equal amount of traffic at a lower price because I can get you a better cost per click, something like that. So that would be cost savings. Then there's relief, which is sort of difficult to put an exact dollar amount on, but it's definitely not zero. Because as you're solving these other problems, you're lowering people's stress, you're improving family relationships, you're giving people more time, improving their lifestyle. So that's definitely a source of value, even though it's a little bit more artistic, shall we say, to put an exact value amount on it. It's definitely not zero. So there's 5 high impact problems you can solve for local businesses that contribute to all of these sources of value. And so let's take a look at all 5 of the problem areas that you can solve that really do move the needle for your client. The first one is traffic. Without traffic, nothing else matters because nothing ever gets seen. So what's the point of just designing a new logo if nobody's going to see it? And traffic is the result of joining 2 things together. You have visibility, which is people need to see your stuff. But then there's also authority. Like your stuff needs to inspire trust in people because visibility without authority is just going to be spam. So how do you get visibility? Well, I know that I talk about things in a little bit of a different way. So let me kind of define these as we go. But local SEO is one of them. And what I mean by local SEO is organic search traffic. You're creating content. The content gets indexed. Maybe you have citations on different directories, you're getting backlinks, and you're basically just improving your organic search results. That's what I mean by local SEO, and that's a huge way to drive more visibility for local businesses. But then there's Google Maps and other business directories like Yelp and Angie and Home Advisor. And those are great ways to drive visibility for 2 reasons. One is people will go to Yelp to find stuff, but Google also indexes Yelp pages. And so there's more properties for Google to index, which increases your visibility. So that's a huge way to just be listed in more locations to improve visibility. Then there's social traffic. And I want to differentiate a little bit between social and social traffic and SEO, local SEO. And what I mean by that is social traffic is free in the sense that it's organic, but it's faster. It's like fast acting SEO. It's stuff that Google doesn't need to index. For example, Facebook posts, like some neighbor logs in and says, Does anybody know an HVAC company? My air conditioner went out. And then somebody else says, yeah, you should work with Hutchins Mechanical. They're awesome. They tag Hutchins Mechanical in the post or whatever. And now people are clicking through, looking at the Hutchins Mechanical Facebook page and calling in, and now they're getting some leads to that. So that's what I mean by social traffic, and that can happen on Facebook or Instagram or your Google business profile. It's organic, not paid, but doesn't really need to be indexed, so it works faster. So that's what I'm calling social traffic. Awesome way to improve visibility. Then, of course, there's paid traffic. You can run ads on Google, Meta, Pinterest, stuff like that. But how do you get authority? Social proof is a huge way, like getting more reviews on Google, examples of your work. And the cool thing about this is as you get more authority, it also improves your visibility. It's like if Google is noticing that you're getting more great reviews, then that improves your authority. And then they're going to say, hey, well, what if I show this Google business profile more often now because people are having good experiences, and that improves your visibility. Quality design, like a professional logo, branding, website looks great, social profiles are consistent. That's going to be a sign of authority. Imagine if they didn't have that. Imagine if their logo looked like Microsoft clip art and their website was a mess and their social profiles looked like a mess. I'm going to think, is this legit? Is this somebody's side hustle? Is this, what's going on here? So quality design is a huge boost in authority. And of course, that also improves visibility, right? Because the technical aspects of SEO is going to get you more views as well. Then there's the pre-selection bias idea, which is if more people have already decided to work with you, then I'm more likely to want to work with you too. An example would be you get your client, maybe they do home services, you get them listed up on Angie, and then you help them win Angie's Super Service Award. And so that means like not only are people working with this client, but so many people are working with them, having such a great experience that they won an award. So maybe I'm going to be likely to want to work with them too. So that's awesome. Then there's the user experience, which is kind of the technical stuff with regard to mobile experience, site speed, but also usability, color contrast. Like I see a lot of like dark text on dark backgrounds, so it's really hard to read. Am I going to be able to get support? Is their marketing message even clear? Do I even know what they offer? Like stuff like that really helps improve your authority. And again, once you improve your authority, you also improve your visibility, and visibility plus authority is really where traffic comes from. Now, once we have the traffic, let's talk about leads. How am I going to pull leads from the traffic? Essentially, how do I communicate with pre-customers is what I'm talking about with these leads. And social media is a great option for that. And I use social media, especially when it comes to local business marketing, I use social media primarily for nurturing, not so much for growth. I don't think it's realistic for a local business to be able to create enough high quality social media content for a platform to use it to grow an audience. And even if they did, it's like, we're trying to grow a local audience. Like organic growth on social media is really not my goal for most local business social media marketing. It's really nurturing. And there's 9 social media content categories that we use for turning leads into clients. And I'll share with you all 9 of them real quick right here so you can see what they are. Excerpts from long form content you already have, like taking blog posts or longer form videos or even brochures and stuff, and just sharing pieces of that on social media. It's really a great way to get some content out there without having to really create anything new. Shared content from other helpful sources. Maybe you discover some tips that are just in the industry, but not necessarily from your specific client. You can share that. Testimonials and quotes from clients is great to repost. Educational content is awesome for social media too, especially if you're working with health or wellness or fitness or financial advising or anything that you want to learn about before you jump in, like maybe even like buying solar panels or remodeling a kitchen or installing a swimming pool. Educational content is great for stuff like that. Inspirational content is really great when your client has an audience that is at least partially responsible for their own results, like health, wellness, fitness, weight loss, stuff like that, where you're trying to inspire people to improve their lives. That's great stuff to share, like success stories and stuff is great to share on social media. Then there's promotional posts about your products and services. This is a great thing because we're talking about how do we move leads into clients. And of course you want to talk about the stuff that you've got, but you don't want to talk about it all the time because then it seems kind of spammy. And then there's news, like new employees, having an event, announcements, stuff like that you can share to just kind of keep people up to date on what's going on in your business. Strategic content to pull new clients from your audience. So maybe you've got people that are following you on social media and you feel like you have sort of a distant relationship with them. And then you say, well, we're having an open house. Why don't you sign up for the open house? And then you kind of get more of an in-person relationship for that. Or you have an online seminar or webinar that you want people to sign up for. You can drive traffic from social media to that. And then there's created content. So you might notice that your client has content gaps. Maybe the competitors are creating content that your client doesn't have, and you're thinking maybe it would be a good idea for them to have some of that stuff too, and you can create new stuff. But I'm putting that in here kind of towards the end because a lot of the stuff that we've talked about already is information that already exists. You don't necessarily have to create new stuff. You're just harvesting information from other locations, which makes it a lot easier to get the content you need for social media, so you don't have to create everything from scratch. Now, email. Email versus social media. Like if you look at the difference between the power of email versus social media, at least in the businesses that I've had anything to do with, email is more powerful than all social media platforms combined. I've launched multiple $1 million businesses just out of my attic. Like we had the Cart66 e-commerce plugin, the secure hosted payments platform, the DoubleStack coaching program, like all of this stuff have generated over $1 million, and most of the revenue comes through email as opposed to social media. So lead magnet ideas, like how do you build out your email list? Let's talk about some of those. The easiest one, I think, at least for local businesses, are what I call VIP clubs, where instead of just saying, hey, sign up for my newsletter, you name it something. Let me show you an example. So this is one we did for Blades, we call it Blade Spinners Club. It's for an axe throwing company called Axe Republic. And they used to have on their website, it just said, sign up for our newsletter, and 0 people signed up. Like nobody signed up. The website had been out there probably for 2 years. And I don't think there were any signups at all over the 2 years. And then we swapped it out with this. And we named it something, we called it Blade Spinners Club. And we started listing different perks and benefits and reasons why you would want to join. And we collect a first name, email, and a birthday, so we can send out like birthday, gifts and stuff like that, birthday discounts. And this converts at about 10% on cold traffic, which is a huge difference compared to the 0% that they were getting before. And now they've got emails coming in that they can nurture and keep in touch with and build their list. It's awesome. It's a huge deal. So what about some other lead magnet ideas other than VIP clubs? Let me throw in one other tip about the VIP club. It's really cool because you don't have to build anything. You're just offering things that the client's already offering in other venues or in other ways, and just kind of clumping it all together in one place, giving it a name. And so I didn't have to create anything. I didn't have to build anything. The client doesn't have to give anything away anything new. We're just talking about it so people know about it. It's such an awesome way to build a list. So other ideas include like brochures. The trick with brochures is not to say, stick your email address in and we'll send you a brochure. That doesn't convert as well as if you name the brochure something cool, like 2025's most coveted cabinet designs, what's in today's dream kitchens. Make it sound like something's really exciting and interesting. The title of the lead magnet makes a big difference, even if it's the same content. Like you could have, what I mean by that is this title will convert higher than saying download our brochure, even though it's the same brochure for both titles. So checklist, again with the titling of it, the 2-week pre-move checklist, what most people forget until moving day. If you name it something like that and you're working with a moving company, like I would totally download that. I don't want to mess up my move and waste my time or have to spend more money. I would totally download the checklist. How-to guides are really helpful. How to measure your windows to get the right size shutters. I mean, if you're working with a business that sells shutters, that would be an awesome one. Top 5 lists work really good, especially for not only for building the list, but also for segmenting the audience. I was working with this dietitian, and she does gluten-free stuff, but she also does pre-diabetes and blood sugar stuff and stuff if you feel like you're having adrenal fatigue and chronic fatigue, stuff like that. And so we put together the top 5 gluten-free desserts for chocolate lovers. And that was awesome. So the huge growth on the list just for that, because everybody loves chocolate. Everybody wants gluten-free stuff, or at least people that are interested in that have like celiac disease or whatever want gluten-free stuff. And so we know that we're segmenting the audience based on the outcome they're looking for, and we're doing it in a way that actually is fun and gets a lot of results. Templates, the migraine detective kit, your 90-day trigger tracking journal. So what I mean by templates is something that's kind of like a thing that you can use once you download it, like a tracking journal or a fitness calendar or something like that, that you can sort of pre-design for people, and then they can just use the thing that they get from you. Calculators are really cool. Weight loss by walking calculator, like how many steps do you need to take to lose weight based on what your weight loss goals are, something like that. Ask a few questions, stick your email address in, get the results, and that's really fun. Quizzes and calculators are really similar. A quiz would be like you discover something like a personality profile, or discover the industries that will pay you the most. Like I put together a niche quiz. In fact, you can try it out here if you want to. It's at doublestack.net/niche quiz. And it's a way for you to just enter in the stuff that you're good at, the interests that you have, your experiences, whatever. And then the results, I'll send you an email that will show you what industries will pay you the most based on your specific skill set. And I actually added another free course to the mix. So as you go through through this quiz, you'll also get access to the Lead Lab. It's 8 ways to find leads organically with step-by-step video tutorials. And the one about the advanced Google search is so powerful. But anyway, if you want to try out a quiz and see how it works, you just go to doublestack.net/niche quiz, answer a couple of questions. I think it's like 6 or 7 questions. I'll send you an email to show you what niche is going to be the most profitable for you. And you'll also get the Lead Lab course. So you can see a lead magnet quiz in action if you want to. Okay, clients. So we've talked about traffic. We've talked about leads. Let's now talk about clients. What is the next step for your leads? So how do we nurture the leads into actual paying customers? That's the idea in this category. And one way is immediate calls. So the cabinet lady that we're working with, on her website, if you go to her website right now, it says call now. But the problem is most people aren't going to call now because they just discovered the website. That's why if you go directly from traffic to clients without the leads, then you generally don't get the conversions that you want because it's too much too soon. Like I'm not ready to spend $10,000 or more on cabinets the first time I land on a 1-page website about cabinets. You know, because like her website right now is 1 page. And it says call now if you're interested in cabinets. Now, maybe if I've talked to you before and I'm just trying to look up your phone number, I might call. But if I'm doing research, trying to learn about cabinets, figuring out what I even want, then I'm going to want to go through some kind of a quiz. So one of the things that we're doing for the cabinet lady is we're setting up a quiz where you answer a few different questions and find out what type of cabinets you're, because she does cabinets for bathrooms and kitchens and laundry rooms, all kinds of different types of cabinets. And like laundry room cabinets is not anything, I didn't even know there was such a thing. Like that wasn't even on my radar. I just figured if it was cabinets, it would be kitchen cabinets. But if I'm actively looking for laundry room cabinets and I want to improve the space in my laundry room and you start sending me information about kitchen cabinets, that's not going to resonate with me. So anyway, so we're doing a quiz to actually teach people the different types of cabinets that we're able to offer them. So it's educational content. And then we'll say, hey, if this looks like what you're interested in, now call me. And now we're going to get a huge response rate from that because you're going to show people up front that you have exactly what they want. You know what you're talking about in the area that they need help. And now it's much more likely for people to have immediate calls, like based on the nurturing, not from just landing on the website. Then there's this website AI callback feature. I don't know if you've seen this. It's called Call Fast. Like if you go to callfa.st, you can check it out. It's like a platform where you can put a form on your website. People fill out the form and an AI agent calls them back within like a couple seconds. And then you can connect all that stuff up so they can actually book appointments and stuff on your calendar through AI. It's kind of wild. But you can do online chat sort of in the same way, either human or AI monitored to schedule appointments. Google Maps driving directions. Sometimes the simple stuff is easy to overlook. Hey, I need to go in and I want to look at your showroom. How do I get there? Right? Driving directions. Google Calendar integration so that people can actually book appointments with you right there. Even if it's something as simple as Calendly. But there's also bookings and reservations that you can get hooked up through your Google business profile. Have you ever seen Reserve with Google? It looks like this. It's like the little feature that you can add to your Google business profile so people can reserve a table or book an appointment at a salon or something like that. There's tons of different integrations that connect in with Google. Everything from barbershops to chiropractors to restaurants. There's like tons of ways to book integrations. And maybe you hook your client up with some of that stuff so people can book things online, which is great because that way, as you're doing your email marketing and sending people stuff about how you can help them, maybe they're reading the email at a time when you're not even open. Well, why do they have to wait until you're open to book the appointment when they could just click through and do it right now while they're thinking about it? And that's going to be a great way to turn leads into clients. So let's talk about loyalty. How do you get more transactions from your customers? That's what I mean by loyalty. So you're working with businesses that tend to have repeat clients, but they're not on a formal subscription. How do you get more transactions from those clients? And one idea is just to nudge the next appointment. Like send a text, send an email, say, hey, we haven't seen you in a month or so. I know you normally get haircuts once a month. Why don't you click here and schedule the appointments? Like we were just looking at with the schedule the next appointment feature. Like you can add stuff where people can book the appointments online, either through Google Business Profile or Calendly or whatever. Just nudge the next appointment. It's a huge way to improve loyalty. Or a dog groomer. Hey, we haven't seen Fluffy in the last 6 weeks. He's probably getting really fluffy. Do you want to book an appointment? Here's a link. Boom. And now you're boosting customer loyalty by stuff that things that you and I can do. Recommending related products, that's really helpful, both for e-commerce, but also for even in-person services. Like we were talking about the HVAC system. Well, if you're starting to introduce a VIP program, why not send out an email and say, hey, I hope that everything's going great with your new HVAC system. We've got this new program where we can come out and make sure everything's going great twice a year. Want to sign up? Here's the link. Boom. And that's stuff that we can hook up for people. Birthday offers, another great way that we're looking at with like the Blade Spinners sign-up group. Selling subscription packages, what you just talked about with the HVAC maintenance. Client success spotlights, top of mind, just staying top of mind through email, social media, post-sale check-ins. Service optimizations is a great way to boost customer loyalty. Like you'll ask, like somebody will say, how can my service be better? And then we actually do the thing that people told us that would make the service better. And then we say, hey, now we have this new thing. Do you want to try it out now? That'd be huge, right? What about retention? So retention is something that's a little bit different from or customer loyalty. I think of retention as how do you keep people engaged with their memberships or subscriptions longer? And so that would be like yoga studios or even like bookkeeping services or personal training and fitness and gyms, or even concierge medicine, like things where you have literal subscriptions. Like how do you keep people active for longer? And one way is member dashboards, progress tracking, showing people exclusive content, leaderboards, gamification, winning awards and status bumps. Like the more achievements that you're able to make, you can sort of formalize that and gamify that and let people feel like they're building streaks. Do you ever see all these social media apps that have streaks and stuff that you don't want to break? Those are so addictive to me. So build some of that stuff in and encourage retention. User-generated content. The more people contribute to their own community, the longer they want to stay. Challenges, even seasonal challenges, great, especially for fitness and weight loss and health and medicine, like things where you're trying to improve your health. Seasonal stuff's huge. Challenges are great for retention. Proactive, personalized support, automated reactivation. These are somewhat similar, where like if you notice that somebody hasn't logged into a site for a while or they haven't come in for a while, you can reach out to them proactively to see if you can kind of get them back on track. Promoting group events and invitations that you can send out emails for and help with the promotion of internal events and stuff like that. Exit intent offers. If you feel like somebody's leaving or maybe about to leave, you can reach out to them and make an offer, or at least exit interviews and getting feedback for why they decided to cancel so that you can then improve the service and then reach back out and say, hey, we did the thing that you said. Do you want to join again? Or at least fixing it so that other people don't leave for the same reason. So let's take a quick look at the 5 high-impact problems you can solve in summary. So we looked at all of these things, and here they are just as a quick rundown. So we've got it all together: traffic, leads, clients, loyalty, retention. And I had this little saying that can help you remember these things. It's TLC for the long run: traffic, leads, clients, for the loyalty, retention, right? Now, the reason I'm putting all of this here is because remember when we were talking about how my ideal client is a customer who has the ability to grow, but they're not looking for a website. Well, if you hit on these 5 high-impact problem areas that you can solve, let me get you more traffic. I'll show you how that brings in more leads. I'll show you how we convert the leads to clients, and we get those clients to come back more often through loyalty and retention. Give yourself about 20 minutes, and I guarantee that the person that you're talking to is suddenly quite interested in the website. Because where are you going to drive the traffic? To the website, of course. Where are you going to put your email opt-ins? On the website. How are you going to get clients to sign up for stuff? And where's your online calendar? On the website. How are you going to get more customer loyalty when they want to come back and work with you? Well, they'll schedule the appointment on the website. What about retention and the members area? That's all on your website. You see what I mean? So like as you're hitting these things, people are going to go from, I'm not even thinking about a website, to I think I really need a website right now, which is really awesome. That's why I love this so much. So now we know what problems we're trying to solve, but what services do we need to offer in order to solve those problems? That's what we're going to be talking about in this next video right here, but it's not quite like what you might think, because we're not offering like SEO packages or ad packages, because one of those services by themselves will not be powerful enough to generate the kind of results that we were just talking about. So instead of offering service packages, we create these things called outcome journeys. And that's what we're going to be talking about right here as soon as it's ready. I'm publishing a new video every week on this agency blueprint series we're on, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. But in the meantime, if you want to see the services that we're putting in our $12,000 package and how I was able to triple my revenue by working with like monthly partnership clients, check out this DoubleStack workshop right here. Either way, I'll see you in just a minute.